Yo guys, Matt Tatashi here, back with another video. Super excited to make this video because my Titans have made the playoffs for the first time in 8 years, and I'm super excited. And as we speak, the game is in a little while, but none of the games have started, so I'm here to make my predictions for who is going to win the Super Bowl and who's going to win each game. Without further ado, let's get right into this. So the first game is the Tennessee Titans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think this one should be a pretty good one because I think that the Titans this year have played below average. It's been obvious. We were supposed to do a lot better than we did, and we kind of choked at the end of the season there. But we did have those good games, like at the beginning of the season when we beat the Seahawks. That was a big statement. And we've played games where we were really good. But the reason I feel like we're losing games is we play to the level of our opponent, whether they're bad or they're good, which is okay if you think about it because you're playing to the level of the people that are good usually. Besides the Steelers game. Now, the Titans' offense has been really slow the past few games, so I'm not sure. I really think we need to get that going. But as far as defense goes, I think we're set. I think Adoree Jackson, that's my bold prediction, is that Adoree Jackson can guard Tyreek Hill because Adoree Jackson is very fast too. So I think if our defense can hold up and they don't have to be on the field for a long time because our offense isn't always punting, then I think we're set. And I think the Titans win that game 17-14, nail biter in Arrowhead. All right, the next game is the Buffalo Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Buffalo's a kind of interesting story. They weren't going to make the playoffs until the Bengals beat the Ravens on a 4th and long. And it was a crazy game, but the Bills are in now, and I'm just not sure. Even as a Titans fan, the AFC is just not looking as strong as it has been, and I think the Bills are not the best team in the world. I don't even see them. I didn't even think they're a real good playoff team. So I think the Jaguars with that defense, I think they can hold them to a stop. They can hold them to stops, and not only that, even if their offense doesn't do great, I think their defense can even produce points on defense with pick sixes or fumble recoveries. I think that Jacksonville wins this one by a decent margin. I would say 21-10. Okay, now moving on to the NFC side. The first game is going to be the Atlanta Falcons going up against the Los Angeles Rams. So this one is set out to be a good one. I've heard a lot of different people swaying between each team. Now, I know the Rams had a great season. Todd Gurley, possible my MVP pick. And Sean McVay has been a great coach for the Rams this year, especially with how young he is. Just kind of surprised the world there. Now, the Falcons, though, they were just in the playoffs last year, and their team hasn't changed much. So they do have experience. You have guys like Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. They've been in the playoffs for a long time now. And the Rams, this is their first time in the playoffs in a little while now. And I still think the Rams are going to pull this one off, but I think it's going to be a good one. I'm not sure about this scoreline, but I think the Rams win it 24-17. All right, moving on to the final wild card game in the NFC. It is the Carolina Panthers going up against the New Orleans Saints. I think the Saints look amazing this season. I've watched their games. They just look like a really good team. And the Panthers, yeah, they've had a good season. I think there's kind of some liability there that the Saints can exploit. And I think that with Alvin Kamara and Marshall Lattimore being two rookies that kind of shocked the league, I think that the Saints win this one by a decent amount. I say they win this one 24-7. So, moving on to the second round now. The first game in the AFC would be the Titans going up against the Patriots. And unfortunately, boys, as a Titans fan, I think this is where our streak comes to an end. I think that this one might be a high-scoring game. So, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the final score of this game is going to be 31-17 New England Patriots. I just think that the offense is going to be moving, but our defense, the Patriots defense has been kind of weak, but so has the Patriots offense has been amazing. So I don't know if our defense can handle that good of a team. I don't know. They could surprise me, but I have the Patriots moving on to the conference championship. All right, on the AFC, the second game would be the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is a very interesting matchup because you have the Pittsburgh Steelers with one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL with Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, you name it, David DeCastro on the offensive line. They can run the ball, pass the ball, anybody they want to. And Juju Smith-Schuster, great season. But you have the Jaguars defense. Their whole defense is stacked. I don't even need to go on. Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Boye, Marcel Darius, Calais Campbell, Miles Jack, Telvin Smith. It's just all over the place. They have superstars. So I think it's interesting, but I still think the Pittsburgh Steelers will beat the Jacksonville Jaguars because I say that the Jaguars offense just won't be able to get it going enough, that eventually Jacksonville's defense will get too tired, and I think that the Jaguars lose this one 10-24 Steelers in that one. Okay, the first divisional game in the NFC is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New Orleans Saints. And I think the fact that the Eagles were killing it and then Carson Wentz got injured, I think that's the end of it. Just right there. I don't think that they can go far with Nick Foles. I don't even think they're going to win this game. I think the Saints can succeed on defense with Marshawn Lattimore, and their pass rush can get to Nick Foles, and then there's a disrupted offense. It's not very good, and I just think that the Saints, with their offense, can run over the Eagles' defense, and overall, I think that the Saints will win this game by a decent amount. I say they win 24-10 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, for the final NFC divisional game, it's the Minnesota Vikings versus the Los Angeles Rams. Now, if this game happens, it would be a very good one, and I think that it should be interesting because the Vikings had an interesting quarterback situation all year, and eventually they kind of got it figured out with Case Keenum. Then Teddy Bridgewater comes back, and he's also good. So he has some options, but I think they're going with Teddy Bridgewater. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you have the team like the Rams, who has Jared Goff and Todd Gurley, the MVP candidate, and I just think that team is so good too. But here's the deal: the Vikings defense, they shut down Todd Gurley, and that's it. They start getting to Jared Goff, and then he's making bad decisions. And if they tackle Todd Gurley in the backfield enough, and then their defense starts getting tired. The Rams' defense gets tired because they have to be out on the field so much, and Stephon Diggs is having a good game. I think that the Vikings win this one. I think it's going to be a good one, though. I think that the Vikings win this one 21-17. All right, now moving on to the conference championships. In the AFC, the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, which would be a very, very good game. Tom Brady, 5 rings, seen it all, knows what the playoffs are like. He can read any defense. This is not new to him. He will be completely comfortable. He has targets like Gronk, who are huge. It's hard to cover Gronk if you didn't know. And then you have the team like the Steelers with an explosive offense. And I'm not sure if Antonio Brown's going to be back by then. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I think he is because I saw him getting better. But if he plays, that would be hard for the Patriots defense to guard Le'Veon Bell, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Antonio Brown. But here's the deal. I think experience in this one, I think it pays off. I think the Patriots, I think it's a high-scoring game. I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that the Patriots win this one 31-24, get revenge, or the Steelers won't get their revenge on the Patriots after a crazy game in the regular season. Yeah, should be a good one. All right, now for the NFC Championship, you have the New Orleans Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings. and this one would be a very, very, very good game, highly anticipated. It just comes down to, who wants it more at this point. The Vikings had a great season. Their defense emerged as one of the top in the NFL. Saints, 2 running backs, tore it up late in the season. Alvin Kamara, Rookie of the Year. I think he will be. Marshawn Lattimore, I think he'll be Defensive Player of the Year. Now, that's another thing. Stephon Diggs could potentially exploit Marshawn Lattimore because it's his first time being in the playoffs, and that's not easy to do. But Drew Brees has the experience, and I think Drew Brees will lead his team to a very, very close win against the Minnesota Vikings, 21-17. All right, for Super Bowl number 52 in Minnesota, I believe it should be a very good one, and my prediction is that it's between the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. Now, this would be an amazing Super Bowl. Tom Brady would make it back there for another chance at a 6th ring. But I, ladies and gentlemen, think that Tom Brady will be shut down. Not completely. Let me rephrase that. He will not win this game. I believe that the New Orleans Saints will be Super Bowl 52 champions. With how strong that offense is, and the Patriots defense, yes, they have James Harrison now, but they've showed signs of struggle all season long. And I think New Orleans exploits it. I think their defense holds up against the Patriots. And I think that the New Orleans Saints win Super Bowl 52 24-21 in a nail-biter. And that is going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you watch these playoff games. They're going to be awesome. That's it from me. Peace out.